It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, some folks reached out to me. They said, hey, Ray, are you going to do a roast on the ECS24 meeting? Because we know every year I like to kind of poke fun of the meeting in the desert. I mean, come on, folks. It's a lot of fun to poke fun of that meeting. But this year, I'm thinking I might actually attend ECS24. I'm not sure if they'll let me in, but I could show up at the hotel and meet my friends at the bar. But ladies and gentlemen, when I saw a list of rumored topics, I was like, this is unbelievable. I mean, if that list of rumored topics is even half true, this will be the largest event our industry's ever seen by far. It'll blow away IT meetings. This meeting will be bigger than IT Nation. Great America will literally have to rent every single hotel in Scottsdale because that's how many people would want to go and hear these topics. Because our industry's going through this massive transition, disruption based on technology. We've seen our industry's mega dealers running around buying their growth through acquisition, hoping they could transition those print companies they bought into IT services companies. And ladies and gentlemen, we've seen some big disasters going in that direction, right? We see OEMs just struggling right now. We see some private equity-backed ventures in a real mess right now. And so I'm reading this list of rumored topics and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if we could really address this stuff, the realities of our industry, that would be one packed full event. So let me share the list of rumored topics and you'll see what I mean. The first rumored topic, Michael Stramalio will be addressing why he believes Visual Edge having their equity evaporate to Ares Capital, as Ares Capital brings in a first out lender and see a private credit, is a good thing. So remember when this happened, about a month and a half ago? Mike Stramalio was out there doing posts congratulating Austin, the CEO of Visual Edge, on getting $40 more million. And I'm thinking to myself, this was a disaster. You know, Ares Capital, their private equity group, had a loan and non-accrual. I mean, this thing was a mess. And we got Michael out there congratulating him, so I'll be really curious what his thoughts are on that. This is why you got to be really, really careful when you're doing these gratuitous platitudes. You know, when you go on social media and just throw stuff out there, you know, congratulating on people that don't really need to be congratulated. It can kind of come some backfire on you. Mike will also discuss along with Rick, and I mean Rick Taylor, Rick Taylor, right? Rick Taylor was the ex-president of Konica Minolta USA, the realities of the failed Forza platform. And why Mike now believes that Power MPS is the new best thing for the dealers. This presentation will be standing room only. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about why the last ERP that was going to save the industry failed so miserably before we start promoting the next one that's going to save the industry. Let's talk about the differences between the two. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's a reality that the industry needs to discuss. So I'm so glad that this is a rumored topic. Rick Taylor will be discussing the realities behind Allcover and all the acquisitions added to Allcover under his watch. So remember when Rick Taylor was running Konica Minolta USA? Boy, he used to brag about this Allcover thing. That was like his baby. We're going to change the game. We're going to change the world. He bought Allcover, then they bought a whole bunch of other companies that they rolled up underneath Allcover. I believe Allcover is an extreme mess. I've been challenging Konica Minolta to share the details of Allcover so they could educate the industry on what's really going on at Allcover. And here's the other thing. In this rumored presentation, Sam Arrigo is going to join Rick because Sam doesn't want to be blamed for the mess. This is going to be a dynamic conversation, and our industry needs to hear this conversation. This is fantastic stuff. Here's another rumored presentation. Andy will be doing a second interview with Austin via Visual Edge. This time, Andy and Austin will address the inabilities Visual Edge has in cash flowing enough to keep loans on non-accrual and how losing the majority of their stock affects the shareholders. So remember the last interview that Andy did with Austin, where they talked about nothing? Could you imagine Andy and Austin doing an interview live in front of the audience, where Austin's sharing the realities of Visual Edge? Because, you know, that last interview Andy did with Austin, people would think everything's going great over there at Visual Edge, when in all reality, they just lost like 65% of their equity, and I'm sure those shareholders that one day thought they were going to get this big payout are pretty upset because they're now starting to realize there will be no payday. Boy, that'd be a conversation that could really wake up the industry to some realities. That would be a standing room only presentation, I assure you. Great America will be discussing why they failed so miserably in the dealer channel with their Collaborance deliverable. We all know Collaborance, the master service provider program that Great America put together, 12, 13 years ago. We also know that that's been floundering at best. You know, I've challenged Great America many times. You know, they're never going to share the realities of the numbers of that. But I don't think they ever made any money at all. I think it's cost them way more money than they ever made off of that. And at the end of the day, we see a lot of personnel changes going on. Actually, we've seen a lot of personnel changes going on through Collaborants the whole time they've had it. And maybe they're going to also discuss, this is a rumor, that they're going to be selling off Collaborants. Boy, that would be a nice presentation for people to attend. You know, why is this master service provider not working in the dealer channel? You know, I mean, don't we need that education as we're all looking to figure out how we're going to diversify? Can't we talk about the stuff that's not been working? I think that'd be fantastic conversation. Standing room only. Here's one for you. This rumor I heard, I said, this is amazing. The Three Stooges will be doing a presentation. I'm curious how AI brings them back to life. We all love the Three Stooges, especially us old people, right? But supposedly there's going to be a presentation by the Three Stooges, and I'm thinking, how is AI going to bring these people back to life? This is going to be so exciting. That would be a fun event, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people at that event. The rumored retirement party for Bob Goldberg, Frank Cannon, and someone from Great America. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we all like to have a party. I can personally tell you this, I like cake. So that right there would be fun in its own right? And we all know that someone from Great America's got to be retiring pretty soon, right? So these are some rumor topics, and like I said, if they're half true, if they're a quarter true, this would be a huge event. Great America will literally have to rent every hotel in Scottsdale. Speaking of hotels in Scottsdale, ladies and gentlemen, we all remember this event used to be at the Valley Ho. Well, the Valley Ho, apparently, there's a rumor out there that they got a new rule. I mean, the average age of convention attendees must be under 60. I guess you remember last year when I showed the picture of the Valley Ho Hotel, and you know, I was saying that there was a rumor out there that they were bringing in all these wheelchairs and walkers and stuff to help all the attendees navigate through the hotel while they were at the ECS. Well, I'm thinking that might have been true. And I'm thinking that the Valley Ho Hotel said, hey, we can't be doing this. We'd like to have an upbeat. We want a younger crowd. I mean, you could have like 5% of your people over 60, but the whole damn audience can't be over 60. So apparently, they're moving the event to the McCormick Ranch. And this is all speculative, folks, but someone sent me this picture they took, and supposedly there's this big sign over the hotel. It says, welcoming all seniors, Arizona's most medically equipped convention venue. What I find funny about this picture, though, is the day they took the picture, there was a whole bunch of buzzards on the roof of the place. I'm thinking to myself, you're bringing a bunch of old people together and you got buzzards on the roof. That's a little bit scary in its own right. They even have a sign out in front that says, warning, attacking buzzards. But folks, here's the other thing. There's plenty of room for the ambulance under the bay there, you know, because a bunch of people over 60. And folks, I'm one of those people. I'm 62. And I'm going to tell you something. I got a bad leg, arthritis, really bad. And I can't wait to go to some meeting like this where they have medical equipment to help us old people around. I might get one of them little wheelchairs and drive around. And here's the other thing, ladies and gentlemen. We all got to think about this and think about it hard. If those rumored topics are true, there's going to be standing room only. And the worst thing you could do is have a bunch of old people standing up for a long time. It's going to play havoc on their arthritis. So they need a medically equipped venue. Ladies and gentlemen, let me wrap it up with my picture again. I believe I'm going to attend this meeting. I think I'm going to go. Like I said, I'm not sure I'll be allowed in, but I can meet you all in the bar, have some fun in Scottsdale. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo. I might see you at ECS24.